Hi, and welcome to episode 47 of Girlfriends Knitting. Today is the day after Valentine's 2013, and I have had the best Valentine's Day thanks to many of you, and I cannot wait to tell you about it and talk about it and then show you some of the things that I've been working on. If you ask, so that you will know, I'm wearing my Hogwarts shawl. And it is made out of No 2 Snowflakes yarn in the Godric's Hollow colorway. And I hope she doesn't mind that I use her name as a verb at times. But it's very much me pulling a Dawn in that, I had to make sure that the name of the yarn matched the name of the pattern and so that it all went together. But I have that same part of my personality. I have that same little quirk, and I think it's awesome. So, this is my Hogwarts with the little owls. Can you see the little owls? I love it. Love it, love it. Can you see what's behind me? So this is the most beautimous, most squishiest, softest, sweetest, most wonderful. I can't say enough adjectives. Huge. Do you see how huge this is? It's 4 blocks across by 4 blocks long, and each block is 13 by 13, plus then there's border. I just want to wrap up in it. As you can see, it is in my office, hanging on the back of my chair. That is probably where it will live, so you may see it most episodes. If you don't see it, it's probably because it's on my lap. I can tuck it in my arms. It's just so wonderful. Okay, let me see if I can tell you about this without bursting into tears. I have cried enough over this wonderful thing. And the reason it's living in my office, I started down that train of thought, let me finish it, is because I have dogs and a cat. And this is too precious for me to use at home where they may jump on my lap and snag it and pull it, where I can use it in my office when it is cold and chilly in my office, and it will just be gorgeousness. So that's my plan. I plan that this will live in my office where it will be safe instead of at my house where there are things that might get to it. So this was arranged by Jackie, who is Flancer's. I just can't say enough thank you to her. She has been so sweet to me for a very long time. She worked in conjunction with Emily, who is Shanty Dragon, of Holding the Sticks. I keep showing it to you. I know you can't see all of it. Okay, so I'm just going to sit it on my lap. And I found out that the way they organized this, if you don't know, is they were super sneaky, and they knew that I'm not going to read a hockey thread. I love the fact that that's Emily's thing, but it's not my thing. And I'm okay with that. She's okay with that. So they used that information about me, and they put a NHL lockout rant. And what's so funny is they said, we weren't sure if you posted Emily's group or not. And I was like, well, I do, but I more lurk than post. And I said, sure enough, I was going through them, and I saw that and thought, not going to need to read that thread. It had nothing to do with an NHL lockout rant. It was about this blanket. Everybody who knit a square on it, I have personally thanked. I'm probably going to screw up these names, and I apologize, but I'm just going to read out the list. Because I want to thank you on camera, because it means so much to me. A Free Spirit, Am I Yes I Am, Annette K18, Beagle Mom Knitter, Benda2002, Cookie Lady Knits, Sieve Water 44, Sinful, Effie Spins, Evie and Lily, Gold Fan, Just Run Knit, Kitty Girl, Knit Psycho, Knit and Love East Tennessee, Knit and Wolf, Livin' for Fishin', Liz and Juan, LK Memphis, Leavid, I'm messing that up, Maeve, Mary Beth 143, Mem 58, PK Jewelry, Ploverbird, Shanty Dragon, Sheep Therapy, Silly Frou, VF Knits, 4 Kitties Have I, and Flancers did not put herself on the list, so Flancers as well. It is just, it's amazing. And what they did, these various wonderful people knit squares. They had enough that they made my mom an Afghan as well. And so that you all know, it was put in the mail to her today, priority from me. Of course, she has seen pictures, and her and I have talked about it. She's now been on Ravelry and posted on the boards as well. But it is actually now on its way to her priority, so she should be getting it Monday or Tuesday. So I'm very excited about that. Her and I just sat on the phone and cried tears of joy at the love and generosity of you wonderful people. I think that's all I can say about it, because my eyes are starting to turn red. I can see on camera, and I'm starting to feel myself get choked up. And I just really, I don't mind crying. I think crying is a good, healthy thing, but I like crying privately. And so I don't even let my significant other usually in the room if I'm crying. I think it's healthy. I think it's important, but I like to do it in private. And so I'm going to quit. I will link you to all of this wonderful info on Ravelry so that y'all can go and view what these amazing people did. Okay, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Limb Knit Crochet. I am going to give away any set of stitch markers on my site. And in case the person who wins is watching this, I will not only give away any set that's on the site, but if you see a set that you like, but you want tweaked in some way, I will be happy to do a custom order of a set instead. That may have to be a conversation back and forth between the two of us, but we can talk about that. Now, the reason I'm giving this away is Limb Knit Crochet is doing a histocytosis raffle fundraiser. Her goal is to raise $1,500 for the Histocytosis Association. And so she has a huge long list of prizes, so you need to get out there and participate. Birdleg Bags is offering up some money from some of her bags that are going to sell. Cyborg's Craft Room is offering money from some of the various stitch markers on their site. There's some yarn that some of the money is going up from. There's all kind of wonderful stuff. So go check out Limb Knit Crochet's Ravelry group. All the details are posted there. There is a huge long list of prizes if you enter the raffle. And one of the prizes, as I said, is a set of stitch markers from Girlfriend's Knitting. And so to save her shipping cost, it's going to come directly from me. So that's why she doesn't have one to show on the website or anything. Because whoever wins the set of Girlfriend's Knitting stitch markers can simply just go to the website, look, find the set that they like, and again, between me and you, so if you're a Girlfriend's Knitting viewer, I will do a custom order for you, but we may have to talk because I may not have those exact beads or whatever, but we can come up with something that you would like as well. And I will get that shipped out to you, and I will pay, I'm going to pay the shipping cost as well to kind of help offset some of her costs for putting on this wonderful fundraiser. So get out there and go check out her site. Again, that info will be linked on my Ravelry group as well. So awesome fundraiser. Very excited about that. FO, let's jump into knitting, shall we? Now that I've done some sort of what's going on stuff and some huge thank yous, because I heart you all. I do this week. I just really feel the need to share all this love that has been shared with me. So this is an old FO. I finished it 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks, definitely. But I had forgotten it. Can you kind of see what it is? It is Amy's gorgeous wingspan. I had forgotten it at home, mainly because it's not mine, it's Amy's, and she wears it. So I had to kind of steal it back from her for the day. Let me turn it this way so that you don't see the pearl ridge. There we go. So I finished it off with a red stripe across the top out of some lovely Fibernymph Dyeworks that I had in the Kiss Me Like You Mean It colorway, or Valentine's Day themed. And I thought the red looked really good with this rainbow gradient. Yes, this last one was not as big as the others because I wanted to use every ounce of the rainbow pencil roving gradient that I had. I have had many questions about where I got this, and I have done my absolute best to figure that out, and I apologize that I have not been able to figure that out. I bought it in the food building at Rhinebeck. So one of the vendors, it was in the very middle, knits a little, Katie Jo, all you 3 stitches people, Jackie, I ran into all of you right after I had picked it up. So if any of y'all remember where that might have been, or what that vendor may have been, if anybody else who was at Ravelry, I know there's many podcast viewers and recorders who were at Rhinebeck. If any of you remember seeing any pencil roving there in the food court and want to tell me who the vendor was, I know there are many of my viewers who would appreciate that info. I have pulled back up the Rhinebeck vendors list and looked through. I can't figure it out. I've looked at all their websites. I can't figure it out, so I apologize. But so this is Amy's wingspan. And again, I will link you to all of that info online. Okay, that is my sort of FO. I kind of feel like I'm cheating because it's been a while since it's been done. Let's go on to works in progress. It was like this week, I wasn't happy with anything I had on the needles. So if I already had it on the needles, it didn't get worked on. But there was a sale on Fisherman's wool, and I know that Dawn had used some and loved it. I wanted some for my Rocky Coast. That way, in case I ran out of the green for my Rocky Coast sweater, I would have enough to do the cuff and the ribbing. Dawn showed off her Rocky Coast here recently, and it looks awesome, which has really motivated me. This weekend I'll probably be knitting on mine. But on the, you can kind of see a little sneak peek there, on the package was a fisherman sweater, an Aran fisherman sweater, and I just loved the idea of the challenge. And in doing the Rocky Coast, I went online and looked up how to do cables without a cable needle, and love it! If you've done cables and you hate them, like I did, you have to find out how to do them without a cable needle. Life-changing. Life-changing. I'll try to link you to some videos. Awesome. So I wanted a little bit of a challenge. Basically, this is just solely for me to play, but it'll end up being a sweater for Amy. It may be her 2014 winter sweater, but that's okay. This is how much I've gotten done. Just a very tiny little piece of a sleeve. But I adore the pattern. I adore the way it looks. I love it. And I am doing a sleeve because I'm basically doing the sleeve as the gauge swatch. And right now it's perfect. So I am knitting it on a different size needle than the pattern calls for, mainly because I wanted to use my signatures. And I have signature size 9. The pattern calls for 8. I swatched and the 9s worked. So, yay. So there you go, Fisherman's wool in the chocolate, and it's the pattern that's on the Lion brand Fisherman's wool, one of the patterns that's on there. It's not on the tag itself, you have to look it up on the website, but if you sign into Lion brand, it is a free pattern, and I'm using my signature size 9s. So there you go. So that is one of the little things that I've been working on. And for some reason, I haven't done a lot of knitting. I've been fighting this sinus infection. I always have allergy issues and sinus issues. And so about once a month, they turn into an infection, and I take some medicine, and the infection goes away, and I go back to my normal little allergy routine. Well, that's kind of, I'm in the infection stage right now, so it's really yucky, and you may even hear it in my voice. My voice sounds deeper than normal to me. So I haven't done as much knitting as I normally would this week. And then last night, I was sitting there playing with a sock that I'm working on designing. And so I'm not going to show you because it's working on designing it. And Amy looks over at me and she says, "Did you ever get that baby blanket finished?" And I thought, I knit a baby blanket a few months ago for a knit along. Is that what you're talking about? She said, "No, the one for," and she names one of her friends. I thought, you didn't tell me I needed a baby blanket for her. So when's the baby due? And she says, "The shower is March 2nd. And you want a baby blanket." I said, "How about a baby hat?" I said, "I even got a little girl hat made, ready to go right here." She said, "No, it's a little boy." So, off to Stash I go. And I need little boy. So it doesn't have to be baby colors, but I'll show you what I found, and it just happens to be baby blue. But for a little boy, and quick. So I immediately thought, okay, I'm going to do Grandma's dishcloth, but make it a blanket, because that's fast garter stitch. I can knock it out. And I found that I have tons of this yarn, because I just love it. Especially for babies. It's, different people say it differently. I say Bernat, some people say Bernat. I don't know which is correct. The baby jacquards, and this is in blueberries. You can kind of see the pattern stripe there too. And I had 2 of that, so I was like, that'll make a decent sized blanket. So I've cast on. You can see I've gotten the first corner done, because this is literally 2 hours worth of knitting last night. Just trying to knock this out. I love the striping. It's very squishy. This yarn is 100% acrylic. Yeah, no, excuse me. It's 90% acrylic, 10% nylon. It's very soft. It's not Red Heart acrylic. It definitely has the softness to it for a baby blanket in general, and especially with a baby blanket, I wanted something that the mama can chunk in the washer and dryer and not worry about it. And so she will definitely do this. And I told Amy, I said, "Is it going to be okay that this is not going to be an heirloom piece?" I said, because I would need a lot more time and a lot more warning to, and this person would deserve, the friend that Amy's wanting this for, I wouldn't have minded knitting an heirloom piece for her. She's been very, very sweet to Amy. But I don't have enough notice. And sometimes heirloom pieces don't get used. And I'm one that I think you need to use stuff. I don't like stuff that just sits around to look pretty. So my gorgeous blanket that's laying on my lap right now, it's going to get used, ladies. I hope that doesn't bother you. I hope that you appreciate the fact that it's going to get used, because it will get used. It will get wrapped around me, sitting in my office most days in the winter. And so that's one of the things that hopefully the mother will appreciate about this, is this can be the baby blanket that she tosses on the kid when they're going out to the car all the time. And the baby can spit up on it and whatever, and she can chunk it in the washing machine, and it'll be perfect. And I do think it'll be pretty as well. So Amy's in love with it. I am loving knitting it. It's like potato chip knitting, where it's just fast and fun and mindless. So I think of it as potato chip knitting. I'll talk about potato chips in a minute. So this is the other project that I will probably be spending most of this weekend on, considering my time limit. So that's that. That's it for my knitting. The other things I've knit on are things that I don't have to show you right now, because they are for designs. Excuse me, I dropped some. They are for designs. We are going to start on March 1st a Girlfriend's Knitting cowl. And I'm going to have several new designs, a baby hat, and probably a sock, new, as well as my crisscross cuffies. Those are my little fingerless mitts that are short and fast. I happen to have all three of those patterns written up. Two of the patterns are written, just kind of want to retest them a little bit before I get them out there. If any of y'all are willing to knit a very simple baby hat or the crisscross cuffies like in a week time, so like if I sent you the pattern mid next week, you could have them knit by the end of February maybe, so it would, you'd have a week turnaround. If you think you could do that and are willing to do that, the first 2 or 3 people who are willing to do that, I will try and get you the patterns next week if you're interested. I'm going to get all these patterns put up. There are some patterns right now put up, a sock, 2 socks and a hat. And some of them are going to be pay-for patterns, some of them are going to be free patterns. And we're going to knit some Girlfriends Knitting designs. And I'm so excited about seeing y'all knit some of things that have come out of my little head. I'm very excited about that. So that is what's coming up. I will also have a special sale coupon in my shop on Girlfriends Knitting for the patterns, but I also have a special coupon for those who are knitting the pattern for the stitch markers. And I'm just going to let y'all say that you knit the pattern in order to get the stitch markers. I'm not going to be checking on that. But speaking, I sang a lot. I'm so sorry. Speaking of stitch markers, there is a sale. So the Valentine's Day sale ended yesterday. So we need an after Valentine's Day sale. So there are 10 stitch markers on sale for 25% off. So they're marked sale item. I've told you what the regular price was and the sale price. Go check them out. But I do have some new stitch markers. So I am going to show you some of those. And then I'm going to talk about fitness at the end, because I do have some things I want to say about fitness, which I haven't mentioned. The first set of stitch markers that I want to show you, I've already sold a set of them, and I'm so excited. I think they're gorgeous, and several people have asked me, what are you going to do for St. Patrick's Day? Aren't they adorable? So in the set, you get 2 of the little hats and 3 of the little 4-leaf clovers. So I'm going to put them back in their little bag, and then I'll show you the bag. So you get 3 of the 4-leaf clovers and 2 of the little hats. And these are a larger set. They're kind of heavy. Not too heavy for like a sweater, definitely. But you wouldn't want to use them for a sock. Okay, so I did put them in the larger category. Now, if you're wanting something lighter that could be used for a sock, I have these. I am in love with Game of Thrones. Quite violent, quite gory, but I still like it. And so, in honor of Game of Thrones, and it's green for St. Patrick's Day, dragon eggs. And I just think of Ireland when I think of dragons. I'm not quite sure why. So this is a set of 5. They all are identical. I know it's dangling there. It just reminds me of those dragon eggs. Okay, those are my 2 St. Patrick's Day. I had some more in the shop, but they've already sold out. I'm going to try to replace some, depending on what beads I still have. So then, I have kind of these that kind of all go together. They're stone. So some gray and pink stone that I'm calling a touch of pink. And those are paired with these smaller little rhombus-shaped pink stones. So that's one set. It's pink. And instead of a touch of pink, a touch of mink with an M, because they're very similar, but they don't have the pink in them. Okay, it's with silver findings. Now this set is more diamond shaped. So the ones that come with it are more diamond shaped. So there are different shapes within a set, and each set is 6 markers. Then kind of along that same theme is these little ones, perfect for socks because they're light, they're small, and they look like jade. They're stone. I'm not sure that they are jade, of course, but they just have that jade look to them. And each one is slightly different. See how each stone color is slightly different. And it is a set of 5. So those are some of the stonework ones that I have. Then, because I just love these, and a lot of times it's my taste, so I try to think outside of my taste some too, but a lot of times it is my taste. And my 2 favorite things are roses and pearls. And so I found these gorgeous pearls wrapped in silver. So it's got silver swirls on the outside. And I love them. So they have silver loops that they're hanging from. I have a bunch. Go buy you a set. They're awesome. I don't remember how many I said per set. Thinking I said 5. But it's on the Etsy site. So I've got it. Look at all that gorgeousness. Okay, this is my favorite set. I love the pearls, but this is my favorite set. I think this set will go really fast. Flower power. So you've got peace. So it's going to hang like this. It's a metal little peace tag. And then a peace sign. And then 2 flowers. One with an orange bead and one with a blue. So it's a set of 4. And I'm calling it Flower Power. 60s love. Then, lastly, I have a whole bunch of these. And I've put them up as you can buy a single one, or you can buy a set of 6. And they are little ribbons that say the word hope. And I've paired them with a little pink bead. So, sort of a breast cancer ribbon. And that's going to be in honor of my aunt, who is doing wonderful, by the way. So I have those up as well. And you can buy just an individual one, because, you know, you just want to pair it with something else. Or you can buy a set of them. So those are my stitch markers. I'm going to take a drink. Oh, I'm running longer than normal today. Last thing I want to talk about is fitness. One of my motivators is that I'm going to the Stockinette Zombies retreat in June, and they've decided they're going to do a 5K. You can run, walk. It's a prediction 5K. I would like to run it. I may end up walking it, and because I have that option, I feel like the pressure's off, and I'm not good under pressure in terms of motivation. I'm good under pressure in terms of getting stuff done, but not motivating me. The pressure just tends to, I just back off. So, I am going to do this. I'm going to get back on my Couch to 5K program, and I'm going to do this. And I have nominated, without their consent or knowledge, DragonTamerBrat and Retro Lemon to be my coaches. They may not like that idea. Like I said, I've done that without their consent or knowledge, but I've decided they are my coaches. I'm going to be following them. I'm going to be finding out from them what I need to do. And I'm back on Weight Watchers. Not that I ever left. I just stopped tracking. So I have been this whole time on Weight Watchers, but just haven't been tracking my food like I should be. But I've been doing that this week. way over my points, which the first week back, that's my typical thing. If any of you are doing Weight Watchers and want to friend me on the Weight Watchers site, just send me a PM on Clark or Ravelry, and I'll get you connected. Weight Watchers works for me simply because it's not that I eat bad, I eat unconscious. So I'll grab chips. Well, if I'm tracking it, I won't grab chips. I'll grab apples or carrots or something. I'm just unconscious with what I'm eating. I just grab whatever is there. So if I know I have to write it down, I make different choices and I become more conscious of it. Again, it's that, remember I was calling it potato chips because it's just unconscious. So that's why it works for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody, and I'm not really promoting it. I'm just saying that's what I'm doing. If you are also doing it, let me know. I'd be happy for us to encourage each other on that. And if you're doing the Couch to 5K, and you would prefer to be my unofficial coach, let me know, because, you know, bless their little hearts, the two that I unofficially nominated may go, you're nuts. I don't know what you're talking about. So, that's my plan for the fitness. So the eating has gone better this week simply because I have been tracking and so I've been paying attention. Fitness is hard. Y'all have a good week. See you later.